There's something most people believe that quietly keeps them stuck. They think, I just need more discipline. And that sounds right, but it's also the reason why nothing ever changes. There's a pattern where people decide they're going to be more disciplined. They set stricter rules, they try to push harder, and they rely on willpower. And for a short time, that works. But then something happens. They just fall off. And when they do, they assume that the problem is them. They think, man, I'm just not disciplined enough. Or they might think that they lack consistency. Or they think, I need to try harder. And then that belief starts to settle in. But there's something most people don't realize. Discipline doesn't solve the real problem because discipline still depends on decision making. And decision making is exactly where people get stuck. See, every time you rely on discipline, you're asking yourself this dangerous question: should I do this now? And that question creates space. And in that space is where delay lives. See, this is the same loop. More thinking, more deciding, more delaying. There's a point where action doesn't come from discipline. It comes from something else entirely different. A point where the question disappears, well, that's air hunger. Air hunger is the moment where delay is no longer an option, where action doesn't require motivation, it doesn't require discipline, it just happens. And there's also a certain type of person who, when they reach that point, they no longer rely on willpower. They don't negotiate with themselves, and they remove the space where delay can exist. Most people don't need more discipline. They simply need to remove the conditions that allow delay because progress doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from eliminating the option not to act. If you've been relying on discipline this whole time, the next thing to understand is exactly what creates action without it. So make sure to stay tuned and subscribe because that's what we'll be breaking down in the next video.